The movies from the 1930s through the 1950s live on in so many ways. They have influenced and inspired fashion, art, design, music, literature, the endless parade that is pop culture, and they continue to do so. Of the many genres of that era, none holds the attention of our world more than horror. Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman, the Invisible Man, King Kong, everyone a living, breathing metaphor, instantly recognizable in every part of the globe. My question is, how did two Wisconsinites end up writing, orchestrating, or conducting the scores of nearly all of these films? The answer lies on a dark and stormy night in 1925.
Sounds like a lot of supernatural baloney to me.
Supernatural, perhaps. Baloney, perhaps not.
Welcome to Wisconsinology on Music, a collaboration with 91.1 The Avenue and Wisconsinology.com. I'm Frank Anderson. Silent movies were never silent. At their best, presented in a large, ornate, three-level movie palace holding over, say, 3,000 people, like the Alhambra Theater in Milwaukee. They were accompanied by live orchestras. In charge of music at the Alhambra in 1925 was 24-year-old Heinz Rehmelt, a former child prodigy, classical composer, and graduate of the prestigious Wisconsin School of Music. The presentation of the Phantom of the Opera at the Alhambra was a massive effort. Heinz Rehmelt presented a wall-to-wall music score built from existing operatic and symphonic scores, with bits of his own improvisation on solo piano or theater organ. Attending the opening night of the Phantom of the Opera was the man who made the film possible, former Oshkosh resident Carl Laemmle Sr., the founder and head of Universal Studios in Hollywood. Laemmle was so impressed by Rehmelt's work that he hired him on the spot. By 1930, the year that the movies completed their transition to sound, Rehmelt was the music director at Universal Studios. The first thing he did was to summon his former assistant, Bernhard Kahn, to work at the studio. The two composers, arrangers, and conductors filled all those roles in a very busy department. Then, as today, Hollywood loves to have its artistic contributions served fast, hot, and now. At this time, Universal's bread and butter was horror, and Bernhard Kahn delivered by composing the theme for the original Frankenstein. Although they scored in every genre possible, the duo from Milwaukee were at their best when they scored dark and fantastic subjects. Heinz Rehmelt countered Frankenstein with his own iconic score for The Invisible Man. He would follow that up with The Werewolf of London and The Black Cat. Bernhard Kahn, whose work is often uncredited, developed a reputation as a brilliant orchestrator. Among his 100-plus orchestrations was his work on Max Steiner's score for the most game-changing movie in the entire history of film music, King Kong, in 1933. In 1941, Heinz Rehmelt won an Academy Award for his music direction of Yankee Doodle Dandy. That same year, Bernhard Kahn began a long transition from the grind of Hollywood to the slower, more contemplative work of composing and conducting for the concert hall. In the 1950s, Heinz Rehmelt, busy as ever and still part of Hollywood's ongoing system, left us with a big hit song. It was his beautiful theme from the motion picture Ruby Gentry. Both Bernhard Kahn and Heinz Rehmelt passed away in the 1980s. They left us well over 1,000 pieces of individual music heard all over the world every day. Although they composed for every kind of film imaginable, it is in the field of horror that they are best remembered. For 91.1 The Avenue and Wisconsinology.com, I'm Frank Anderson.
Wisconsinology on Music is presented by a grant from the Bright Idea Fund from the Community Foundation for the Fox Valley Region, a supporting partner of the Avenue.